great to have you with us on this Friday at noon. I'm Dustin Grove. We start with meteorologist Sean Ash. The sun's trying to peek out, getting a few peaks here and there.
Yeah, we had some overcast as expected this morning, and now we're starting to see the sky brightening up. It may not be a completely blue sky, but it is going to be a beautiful backdrop, in my opinion. I'll let you be the judge, and this weekend looks fantastic.
All right, good timing.
So, yes, let's go with it. Show you what's happening here over central Indiana with our camera network. So you can see the blue sky, some fair weather clouds. Notice it's 39 in Greensburg, and I'll show you the visible satellite in a moment. 47, almost 50 degrees here in Indy. We're not going to be as warm as yesterday, courtesy of a northeast wind. And you can see that low cloud cover much more prevalent over the southern third of the state right now. And speaking of Greensburg, and then we've got a northeast wind, so you can see these cloud streets, we call them, setting up over the central portion of the state. Some of this is moisture actually coming off of Lake Erie and Lake Huron. So, but otherwise, we're going to see kind of a mixed sky. Hang tight there in Batesville, Columbus. That overcast will thin out a little bit. It is going to be a brisk day for us. We do recover and get into the 50s before it's all said and done here. Right now in the city, we're at 47, northeast wind at 15. That's what we're talking about. So kind of brisk. Got you at 8:20 for a sunset this evening. Pacers wrapping up the home schedule of the regular season tonight against the Magic. You'll need a jacket as you go out. And then tonight, tomorrow morning, not a surprise to see this, freeze warning for central Indiana. Kind of a frosty start to the weekend, but we will make up for it in a big way. We'll have the rest of that weekend planner coming up here in a few minutes.
All right, sounded good, Sean. Thank you. To the headlines now. Changes are coming to Plainfield schools, and some parents are not happy about it. Last night, the school board voted to remove gender identity from its non-discrimination policy. Our Logan Gay was there at the meeting where emotions ran high.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? Nay. It does pass.
In front of a packed room, the Plainfield Community School Board voted to approve a change that eliminates gender identity as a protected class of students under the corporation's non-discrimination policy. Angie Egler is one of the many people who spoke against the move.
I'm so very proud of those young people who stood up and told their story and what life is like for them. I'm devastated that the school board wasn't willing to listen to them.
Parents of transgender children shared their stories and the difficulties kids face.
Students just want to walk your halls and not have slurs thrown at them and have groups of students bark at them. They want to attend high school games and not have food thrown at them. They want to not have strangers walk up to them at school and tell them that they're going to hell. These are all instances that happened to my children while attending Plainfield schools.
If you're scared, imagine how scared people like us feel right now, existing in this community.
How is this fair to take more of a voice from someone who barely has any already?
It will encourage a culture of exclusion and fear. That doesn't sound very Hoosier to me.
So why the policy change? District leaders tell us it's in response to state and federal executive orders. The board fears if they don't comply, it could disrupt school funding. For some people, that's a good enough reason.
All of a sudden, let's lift the federal funding. It's going to hurt 3,200 students. I think we need to think about that. It's about all of us.
Even though it passed, one board member who voted against it wants the community to know that what happened here is bigger than a policy change.
This is an opportunity for us to have had this discussion, to learn from each other, and to ultimately come together, watch out for every single student, including those who are among the most vulnerable for any reason.
That's something Egler said was on display here.
We will absolutely fight for them every step of the way. We will make a way for them, and we will know that they are loved and cared for and want them.
That's Logan Gay reporting. We got a statement from the district about the policy change earlier this week. It said Plainfield Schools remains committed to protecting and ensuring a safe educational environment for each student. The move in Plainfield comes as state education leaders are planning to bar schools from participating in DEI programs, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That change would be made through federal certification. In an email, a spokesperson from the education department says they are, quote, actively working with schools to collect signed certification forms from each local educational agency in the state. We know that at least 2 Indiana school districts have already signed off on the form, Plainfield and Lawrence Township. 13 News talked with Mark Russell from the Indianapolis Urban League about the plan.
We're really looking at a method which addresses shortcomings in America's promise of equal opportunity. And this could trickle down to local schools and inhibit their ability to even talk about or contemplate discussing the meddlesome issue of race.
Right now, we're working to learn about other Central Indiana school districts, how they are responding, or if they plan to push back against the requirement. We'll let you know what we find out. A Ben Davis high school coach is facing allegations of misconduct. Wayne Township Superintendent Jeff Butts tells us the coach is on leave. They also say school leaders reported the situation to the Indiana Department of Child Services. Now, he did not name the coach or elaborate on the allegations themselves. In a statement to 13 News, the superintendent did say students are encouraged to notify administrators with any information or concerns. Other news now, an Indianapolis man will be in court this afternoon in connection with a shooting on the city's near northwest side. 43-year-old Brandon Rivers is facing multiple battery charges for shooting a woman Monday night at a home on Birdsall Parkway near 24th and Fall Creek, as you see on the map right there. IMPD says 3 children were inside the home at the time of that shooting. Police arrested Rivers Wednesday and say he had a stolen gun with him at the time of his arrest.
At this point, we're glad that it's over. It's been a very long 3 years, and we're hoping that both of our families can move forward.
Reaction to that breaking news we first told you about yesterday here at noon, that Kelly Anderson received the maximum 3-year prison sentence, but under a plea deal, she only has 84 days left to serve. Anderson suffers from a seizure disorder. Back in May of 2022, she passed out while driving, crashing onto the sidewalk and killing a local pedestrian, Dr. Brian Dillman. Just 3 weeks later, she crashed into several cars at a stoplight and killed Kiana Burns. Some of the victims' loved ones say the punishment doesn't seem like enough.
Miss Anderson has no regard for human life. If she did, Kiana and my father wouldn't be gone. If she did, we still wouldn't be here begging for justice.
I forgive her. She didn't set out that day to kill my daughter. She didn't mean to do it. She made a bad decision, and she got caught up for it.
In court, Anderson said suffering a medical emergency does not excuse or minimize her responsibility. She'll be on 3 years of supervised probation once she's released. Her driver's license is suspended for at least 10 years. A bicyclist is dead after a crash on the near southeast side of Indianapolis. It happened yesterday around 5 o'clock near Troy Avenue and Tyndall Street. Police say the bicyclist and a motorcycle collided at that intersection. The motorcyclist was said to be awake and breathing. We're working right now to learn what may have led to that crash. The governor just signed a law tied to a story from our 13 Investigates team. The new law makes it clear, that it is legal to possess and use those test strips and field kits that detect fentanyl and other deadly substances. The problem has been that there's just a lot of confusion about it. There had been. 13 Investigates reporter Sierra Putman showed how some law enforcement and prosecutors thought the tests were illegal drug paraphernalia, even though many counties and hospitals were handing them out freely. The bill clears up the issue and takes effect July 1st. Turning now to more insight into the state budget for the next 2 years and what that might look like. It includes nearly $47 billion, mostly in education and Medicaid spending. Plus, the state Senate holds back more money than the House. The House already passed its version of the budget. Next week, we're expecting to get a first look at the April revenue forecast. That's where lawmakers will find out how much money is expected to actually come in. And that, of course, could impact the proposed budget. Our Emily Longnecker is at the State House. She'll follow that for us and bring us the latest developments there.